Good night. Welcome to Planter Garden TV. How you guys doing tonight? What's going on? Thank you guys for joining. Thank you guys for the support. Truly appreciate each and every one of you for the support. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Hey, Shanika Williams, blessings to you. Thank you for joining. Appreciate you joining. Thank you so much. Good to see you. All right. So you guys see the topic. The topic is food security versus nutrition security. Food security versus nutrition security. Shout out to each and everyone. Shout out to all the gardeners who prepping and who getting ready, who getting busy to get out there and put in the work. Shout out to each and every one of you. And I'm wishing you all a very successful 2026 garden season. What I will say to you guys, please focus on growing healthy food. Please focus on growing natural food, real food, because it's going to benefit you in the long run. It's very important. Like it always is. Let me see. My seedling is looking so good. All right, brother, that compost tea is definitely a winner. I am astonished at, whoa, beautiful. My tomato and pepper are good. Wonderful. Good to hear that. Good to hear that, and blessings to you. That compost tea is magic to seedlings, I'm telling you, and even to big plants. Compost tea is magical. So shout out to you, and I'm happy to hear that news that your stock plants them doing wonderful. I know the planting season is coming soon for you, and know you cannot wait to get out there and get them seedling in the ground. Shout out to you. Peace and love to everyone. Shout out to everyone who protecting their seedlings right now. Don't forget, guys, to harden your seedlings before you take them in that burning sun when the weather starts changing. Make sure you harden them. Don't put them in the direct sun. Put them in a shaded area, because you got to remember the sun, they were indoors, and the sun, they was not getting the sun. So when the sun shine, if you put them direct, it might just catch their leaf. So you got to bring them out and let it get used to that heat before you transplant them, all right? Bring them out for at least half an hour to an hour, depending on how the weather is. But it's important to not overwinter, to harden off your seedlings. Yes, so shout out to each and every one, guys. Blessing to each and every one of you. Yes, guys, so we always talk about food security. Food security is important. I also love food sovereignty. Food sovereignty, you see, the thing is today, we don't know a lot of food. There's so many food go to waste today because we don't know. We don't know what is food. We scared to eat certain things because we don't know. We're scared to drink certain herbs that grows in our, because we don't know. The food is around us, but because we don't know, we only used to certain things, other things we get presented with. But there's so many food around in our yard, in our backyard. in the forest, by the roadside. But I'm not going to tell you to go by the roadside. I'm just saying, where there's so many food, edibles, there's so many edibles grows up in the spring, but we don't know about them. So food sovereignty is important, food security is important, but something that is also important is nutrition security. Nutrition security. Because guess what? You could have all the food stored up in the wall. You could have access to all the food. But without nutrition, that's important. The nutrition. So it's not just about food security. And guess what? Sometimes food security, you have access to the food, you're able to eat as much food as you want, but guess what? Sometimes people still malnourished. It's either they're not getting enough nutrition or they get too much. Sometimes you still malnourished. You're not healthy. So food security is very important because we need food. But nutrition security is also important. This is why we focus on practice what we preach. We focus on practice what we preach. We grow our food organic and natural because we want the nutrition. We want the nutrition out of our food, the nutrients out of our food. This is so important. There's so many food around us, but we don't know it's food. We don't know what to eat. We don't know what not to eat because we don't know. There's so many herbs we see grows up in our garden. We call them weeds. That's what we call them. Oh, that's weeds. Show these weeds. But a lot of them is edible. A lot of them is edible. Let me see. True indeed. Porkweed, mugwort, dandelion, milkweed. That's right, sis. That's right. That's right. And where they grows up right in your garden. I just learned about what we call weed that actually has many medical properties. That's exactly what I'm talking about. We don't know. No one was designed to starve. There's enough food. There's enough food. But when you don't know, because you only learn about certain thing that was present to you. So the real food that's growing, and we call them weeds. We call them weeds and we throw them away and we do all type of stuff with them. We don't need them. But like the sis now says, she call out a lot of names there. That's edible. There's a plant they call wild lettuce. All these plants is edible. And what we do, we call them weeds and we throw them away. So this is why we get to the place where food does be scarce from time to time because we only depending on certain thing that was present to us or was given to us. Or these type of food. But the real food that grows up right there, the real herbs that grows up right there, we throw them away. But guess what? If you put a sheep there, he eat up everything. If you put a cow there, they eat up everything. If whatever animal you put there, they will eat up everything. But guess what? We scared to eat them. And I'm not going to tell anyone to just go out there and just start eating hot weeds, herbs. I'm not going to tell you to do that. But it's important we should learn about these food. We should learn about these food that growing in our backyard, and we throw them away and call them weed. We should educate ourselves about them because a lot of them is loaded with nutrients, minerals, a lot of them. But we throw them away. We call them weed. We condemn them. So food security is important, but food sovereignty. Your food should be coming from where you at. You know what I'm saying? Like you have space. You have the space. You should be growing your own food and feeding from the land, feeding from the soil. Get that healthy food where you could get the nutrition you need. You know, we did a live last night and we were talking about nutrition. We was talking about nutrition and the importance of trying to grow your food a certain way that you could get the nutrition out of it. So my thing is, having food security, you prepare yourself. We prepare ourselves for food security. We storing all this food, but we cannot forget nutrition security. We cannot forget nutrition security. There's a lot of what we call there's a lot of people that look to animals for when animal give the meat protein. There's actually a lot of people look to animals for protein instead of look to plants for protein. You see what I'm coming from? Why can't we look direct to the source for the protein instead of we looking to the animal? So now we got to eat meat. We got to eat meat now in order to get protein instead of we eat fresh vegetables, food that can give us the protein. So food security is important. Food sovereignty also is important. But guys, nutrition security, you cannot take that away. You cannot take that away at all. Because at the end of the day, you need nutrition. You could eat all the food in the world, but if the food didn't have nutrition inside of it, vitamins, protein, this is how people get malnourished because they're not getting enough protein, enough vitamin. But guess what? There's plants out there that give us these things. There's food that give us these things. This is why I always say, focus on growing your food as natural as you can so you can get all the benefit out of the plant, out of the food. Focus on growing your food natural so you can get all the benefit out of the food. So my goal is nutrition security. Very important. That's a big part of my gardening. I'm looking for the benefit. Not just growing food, not just looking into food security. Yes, food security is important. Very, very much so. Food security is very much so important. But nutrition security is important as well. Because, like I now mentioned, you could be eating and still not healthy. Because the food that you eat is not giving you the vitamins, the nutrients, the protein. You know, beans. Beans give you protein. Yeah. Beans give you protein. So some people are gonna tell you, oh, you gotta eat animal. Don't get me wrong, guys. I'm not telling you not to eat animal. That's not what I'm saying. I'm just saying, some people gonna tell you, oh, you gotta eat meat for protein. But you could also eat beans and get protein. So this is why, guys, sit down before your garden season approach every year and think about what you want to grow. If you're not a gardener, still think about the things you want to eat that can benefit you, that can build your health. All right? So good night, everyone. How you guys doing tonight? Truly appreciate each and every one of you. Well, as you guys know I'm a organic gardener, and I truly believe in growing organic food. I don't believe in going anything less than organic food, and I'm very much well into nutrition. Very much well into nutrition. So basically, my focus always is force. You're welcome, sis. My focus always focus on nutrition, being healthy, eating healthy. Don't just eat anything because you can eat it. I believe in eat to live, eat to be healthy, not just live to just eat because you can eat. I choose what I eat, and I choose what I'm not eating. Like, for instance, I'm not a meat eater. But guess what? I still receive my protein because I know what to grow to give me protein and make it better. I'm growing it natural. So yes, I'm gonna get the protein. So when people tells you, you might tell yourself, well, you know what, I don't want to eat no meat. I'm gonna stay away from meat for a while. But someone gonna tell you, well, you got to eat meat because you need protein. You see the distraction. You see where we get so distracted. You see where we get taken away from our path if we're not strong and if we not stay focused and if we keep listening to people, especially people sometimes who don't even know what they're talking about. You don't have to eat meat to get protein. There's food you could eat and get protein from the direct source instead of from an animal. You could get it from a plant, from vegetables. Okay. Shanika Williams said, planter is the way to go. Can you do some videos on trailing cucumber and well, yes, I'm definitely gonna be doing that pretty soon because I have some cucumber that I sowed a seed. So I'm gonna be when they start growing and start to push the vines, I'm definitely gonna be making some videos on that. Making trails, yes. And the way we garden, guys, we don't garden that you have to go out there and be buying all different type of things. We go out and we use simple things and it be very effective at the same time. Because at the end of the day, we believe in progress and production, not how much you spend. You see what I'm saying? It's not how much you spend. Is what you do, spend less and still able to be successful. Yes, guys. So this is 2026 garden season, and just focus on your health, guys. Just focus on your health because right now we see how everything is going. Everything is getting expensive. Focus on your health. It's not, if you are a gardener, if you're growing your own food, it shouldn't be that complicated. For the people who not growing is different. They just got to buy what they get and eat what they get. But if you taking that time out to go out there and grow something, you should try your best to grow it as natural as you can. You should, because that's where you're gonna get that vitamins, that minerals. You know why sometimes we have to run to the pharmacy or run to the store to look for vitamins out of a bottle or to look for different things out of a bottle. You know why? Because the food is not giving it to you. The food you eating is not giving it to you. You need iron. Oh, you need iron. You got to go and get iron pills. Instead of eat the food that can give you iron. You see where I'm coming from? So instead of we grow the food in a way that the food can give us our vitamins, our iron, our nutrients, our fiber. Instead of we grow the food to give us that, what we do, we cut all the shortcut in the wall. We buy all kind of stuff and throw it around our plant. And then guess what? We have to go and buy vitamins in a bottle. That does not make, to me, it don't make sense. To me. If I grow in my own food and still got to go and buy vitamins in a bottle because my body need vitamins and I'm growing food. Iron. My body need iron. And I'm growing food. And I still got to go and buy iron pills to give me iron. To me, that don't make any sense. That don't make any sense because the food can give you these things. There's food with fibers, there's food with iron, there's food with vitamins. All you got to do is do your research and find out which type of food give you iron, Which type of food give you vitamins? And grow them. You see what I'm coming from? That's my opinion, guys. Not telling you what to do, but that's my opinion. I don't feel like I'm a gardener growing my own food and I cannot grow things to build my body. I cannot grow things to feed my body. I have to go. I have to go to an animal to get, you see what I'm saying? When I could go to a plant and get it. So food security is always important. I'm going to keep saying it. Food security, very much important. Food sovereignty, very much important. But nutrition security is also important. Because you could be consuming all the food. And if it lack of nutrition, what is it doing to your body? That's why you got to run and buy medicine. That's why you got to run and buy vitamins. Because the food is not giving it to you, and your food should be your medicine. Take the time out, guys. Take the time out for yourself. Learn about yourself. Learn about your body, spiritually, physically. Learn about your body. See the food that you eat, how it affects your body, how it makes you feel. Some food make you just feel good. And I will say is because it's feeding your body with what it needs. But there's so many distractions out there. There's so many distractions out there that we get lead away. We get lead away so easy because there's so many distractions out there. And a lot of people want it sound good to the ears or it sound easy to do, let's go with it. But not everything that sound good to the ears or easy to do mean it's good. Do your own research. And you're great as a gardener. As a gardener, your greatest teacher is your garden, your soil, and your plants. Your greatest teacher in gardening is your plants and your soil. That's where you learn. That's where you see things. That's where you understand things. That's where you see how your plant's doing. That's where you learn about each plant. So pay attention, guys. Don't get distracted because the distraction is real. And if you want to eat healthy and you growing your food, then it's not impossible. I understand that everyone can get certain resources because each one live in different zone. Not everyone have the backyard space. I understand that. But if you have these things, you should definitely try to grow something or grow something that can help you. All right? So nutrition security is one of my top priority. This is why we grow food the way we grow them. This is why we stay away from all the chemicals. We don't spray. We don't, you know what? Do you guys, for the people who spray their plant from bugs, right? For the people who spray their plant from bugs, do you even think about, I have to eat these plants? Do you even think about, I got to eat this food? The people who spray, don't get me wrong, I'm just asking a question. I'm not telling you what to do. You can do whatever you feel like. But when you spray your plants, do you understand that plants absorb? So when you spray them, do you really know? You spray in your plant with the chemical, trying to keep the bugs away. But do you know? Are you going and eat that same plant that you were spraying? So when you think it, if it getting rid of the bugs, don't you think that same chemical could harm you as well? I mean, think about it. Think about it. The same thing you spraying, getting rid of the whatever in your garden, don't you know that you're getting a part of that? You also getting a part of that. So if it affecting the bugs, don't you think it might be affecting you too? So these are things we got to think about, guys. Not because you see somebody out there spraying to hell out the fruit trees or spraying the hell out of their plants them. Meaning because it look good to you or it look cool to you that you spraying your plants and your plants absorb stuff. You understand? Your plant absorb these chemicals and then it release it to you in the food. Think about it. Think about it. Okay, Shanika Williams say, I am glad you are talking about this. I have noticed aphid on some of my outdoor seedling. I was going to use neem oil and castella soap. Is that all? I cannot even tell you if it's organic. That's the honest truth. I don't use these things, so I cannot tell you about them. You know what I'm saying? But I just stay away from these things because plants, like I'm saying, plant absorb. And whatever you got to spray, something I used to use and why I used to use it, it was because I used to see them older people using it from time to time. It used to be, I used to use like for my cabbage and stuff, I used to use like vinegar and water mixed together. Like I put a gallon of water and I put a cup of vinegar and mix it together and then, spray them. But I don't think you want to do that with seedlings. Seedlings is too young and tender. But all these kind of product out there that we see, on the shelf people using, I don't know. I don't know. I prefer fight with these bugs go in my garden and try to get rid of them, try to encourage the birds them to, the birds them to come in the garden and try to help me with these bugs, than really to spray them. Because my goal is try to focus on the natural. You see what I'm coming from? I'm trying to stay away from some of these things because I don't know what they are. Someone could tell you it's organic, but how do you know? AK Chapter, what's up? Thank you for joining. How do you know it's organic? Because someone tell us it's organic? We don't know that. So I try my best to stay away from anything out there. But you know what, birds, I don't know. I think birds is something everyone. Okay, your seedlings are indoors and you still getting that kind of, you still getting them on your seedlings indoors? Indoors, and you still getting that. The truth is, I want to tell you, dilute some vinegar and water in water. That might be a good option because the taste, they mightn't like the taste or the smell, and that might keep them off. But you really want to dilute it good because vinegar have a little strength that can burn as well. So I might say put half cup of water in a, when I say half cup of water, I mean like the measuring cups. The measuring cups, like half cup in water, shake it up well, and just give them a little spray. And see how it works. But make sure you dilute that water. You don't want to make the vinegar too strong. And maybe that might help you. I used to use it from time to time, but over the years, I've seen how boards, how important it is. I've seen how important it is to have boards around your garden. Very important. You're welcome, sis. Let me tell you something. Boards, what we got to understand, right? In the spring, that's when birds lay eggs. You understand? In the spring, they come out and they start laying eggs. So in that time, there's a lot of young birds hatch in that time, in that early spring, in that springtime. And what happens is the birds comes out and the birds looking for the worms and the bugs in your garden. So what the birds do, they take the worms. So sometimes it go to make some like a stake, some like a trail that the bird could land on. Because if the bird land on them trail, what could happen is the bird could land there, and while it land there, picking its feather, at the same time, it's cleaning your garden. I've seen it years upon years upon years. Birds really help. Hey, Shy Guy, what's up? Blessing Aya. Thank you all for joining. Don't forget to hit that like button. Appreciate you all. Yes, yes, okay, yes. Thank you all for hitting the like button. Yes, I'm so online. All right, thank you. Appreciate it. Thank you so much. Yes, guys. So, like we're gonna always see, go back to the topic about food security and nutrition security. Very important, guys. Very important. If you're growing your own food, guys, I believe you should have that understanding that I want to grow these food and I want to grow them as healthy as possible. I want to grow them that I can reap the benefit from them. I don't just want to grow them because I can grow them. I want to grow them because they're supposed to be the medicine, my medicine. They're supposed to be what I turn to my food to heal my body. I don't want to be looking to a pharmacy for vitamins. I don't want to do that. I don't want to look to a pill to build my immune system. And I'm a gardener and growing food. As a gardener, you're supposed to know what. Or if you're just growing it because you could grow it, then it's different. But if you're growing it for yourself, you should look deep at the purpose of why you should try your best and stay away from a lot of things out there. I see many people talking about all kind of product out there, and most of the time, they have no experience about the product. But they're recommending it to you, as you might be a new gardener and you're hearing about this thing and you want to try. Because you as a new gardener, of course you might want to try. But the real thing is, people used to grow garden years ago without these things. And they're still doing it today. I'm doing it, so it's possible. Hey, welcome in everyone. Hey, Pac, whoa, how you doing? All right, thank you, appreciate it. Thank you so much. Okay, Shakta say, my dad say, cucumber have no nutrition value in it. Well, I'm not sure. I really can't tell you. Maybe he have a reason why he said that. Maybe he have a reason why he said that. But you see, I love to eat cucumber. Raw, just pick them and eat them. I love to eat them. But I cannot say that they don't have no value. You see what I'm saying? I cannot say that. Maybe he have his reason to say that. But I cannot say they don't have no value. I've been eating cucumber for a very long time. You love cucumber too, Shanika? Yeah, I love cucumber. But I cannot say it don't have a value. Maybe he have his reason why he say that. Okay? But I cannot say it don't. I just know I love it. But there's a lot of food out there. Guys, there's so many food out there that we don't know about. I'm telling you right now. You watching them, you walking on them, you you pulling them up, you throwing them away, and it's actually food. We have to learn, we have to figure out what is food. Our problem is we depend on people to tell us everything. That is our problem. We don't believe in ourselves. If it ain't come from somewhere, we don't believe it. If it don't come from a place, it's not true. It's false. We don't believe in ourselves. Well, let me explain this to you. When you have some kind of connection with nature, right? When you have a connection with nature, I'm telling you right now, sometimes you might walk in through plants, trees, and sometimes there's a plant just draw your attention. You ain't looking at this, you wasn't paying attention to this plant, you wasn't studying this plant, you just walk and go where you going. And this plant just pull your attention. And then you asking yourself, what is this plant? This plant have to be something. The energy just pull your attention and all your focus on this plant. But a lot of times, it come to many of us in that form. But we don't believe. We got to hear it from somewhere or someone instead of believing that this plan is no way. Is no way that this thing could just happen out of the blues and just draw your attention to a plan for no purpose. It have to be for a purpose. Sometimes that's a plant. You know in the old time that how these are ways people find plants. You think people was how would they know? How would they know what plants? No, it pulls them. It draws their attention. And they believe in what they see and what take place. And learn about the plan. It have to be. People ain't just sit down and the plant just drop by their feet to heal others. No. Sometimes you walk in and I'm telling you, nature is amazing. And these plants is so sensible and smart. They don't, remember they cannot speak, but they push off of vibes. They push off of energy. But sometimes we so distracted that we don't even know that the plant is really reaching out to us. You might have a situation and the plant is right there to help you. But we don't believe in ourselves. And this is our problem. This is why we don't advance. This is why medicine to us, if we ain't get it from a certain place, it ain't real. When a lot of these medicines come from plants. You see what I'm saying? A lot of these things come from plants. But I'm not going to tell you guys to go out there and just pick a plant and start using them. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is important research. And I'm not talking about research and, just because you could go and try to research online and the amount of information you get, it confuse you. Sometimes meditation, sometimes through meditation, relaxing by yourself. And many times, guys, we need a lot of time by ourselves. We need a lot of time by ourselves. That's how we find ourselves, by spending time with ourselves, with we. Go in a place like your gardening. Your plant should be your medicine, and your garden should be your place of peace. Your garden should be a place where you could go and resign, rest, meditate, find peace. These things are very important, man. But you got to find them. But you got to believe in yourself. You got to trust yourself. Sometimes we doubt ourselves so much. We discredit ourselves and go and believe in false information. Discredit ourselves, discredit what we're doing, and believe in false information because it sounds good to the ears. That doesn't mean it's real or it's true. All right? Case Chapter said, my mom made a homemade acid reducer liquid for my years ago from herbs and mix with water, take a liquor daily taste. Full but work. Well, they always say, and this is the next thing that messes us up too. Because the taste we're looking for. We're looking for a specific taste. This is why we got to get sugar and we got to get salt. Because these two things bring. But guess what? These same two things, think about using these same two things too much and see what can happen. You see where I'm Think about it for a moment. Think about salt and think about sugar. And think about using them too much. What can happen? These same two things, and guess what? These are the same two things that give us the taste we yearn for. Could you imagine? Could you imagine? I mean, please think about this thing. This thing, please don't just scratch the surface of what I now said there. Please dig a little deeper in what I now said. Salt and sugar. Think about it, right? Salt and sugar is really deadly if you overuse them. And guess what? That's the taste we yearn for. You see what I'm coming from? Now, back to what you were saying. Tasting awful, but works. The things that don't taste right, that give you that bad taste, most of the time is what benefit us. It's what works for us. But we don't like them because of the taste. We got to add a little sugar or a little salt because we want that taste. And then these two things, salt and sugar, I try to stay away from them. I mean, think about it. That's the taste we yearn for. Because if you cook your food and there's no salt in it, not many people can eat that food. If you cook your food and there's no salt in that food, not many people can eat it. And if you make tea and you don't add no sugar, Some people cannot drink it. You see what I'm coming from? And these are the two things that bring the flavor, the taste we love most. This is why you know something ain't right and something you just got to think them over. Something just doing right and you just got to think them over. Because in a real, it's like they design to mess with you. But guess what? We don't believe in ourselves. So we trust others to tell us. Shanika Williams says, yes, I use Bonset herbs and bitter. I have get through those bitter herbs. Well, listen to me. Notice, right? Aloes. You guys know aloe, right? The aloe plant. You ever taste the aloe? Do you taste how bitter that is? It's so bitter. I remember when my grandmother giving me that to drink. I have to, she stand up right there. It tastes so bad that she give it to you and then she stand up. Then she say, let me see under your tongue. She want you raise up your tongue to make sure you drink it because it tastes so bad. But guess what? Aloe was a really interesting plant. Aloe is a real good plant in many ways. Everyone should have an aloe plant. But taste the taste. The taste of it is so bad you don't like it. And then you might even want to use it. It tastes so bad that we don't want to use it. But guess what? That's a plant we should be using from time to time. So think about it. The things that bring that taste we want is what we should be staying away from sometimes. And the things that look bitters, plant with bitter leaf. We don't want, and most of the time we don't want these plants. We don't want to eat them because they're too bitter. But these are the things we need. Like for instance, when I remember when you're trying to clean out your system, they used to use some leaf, and this leaf was bitter leaf. Real bitter that you used to eat. And that helped purify your body, clean out your system, get out all these worms and stuff that need to come out from your body, out of your system. Sometimes when you don't use these leaf, when it come through your stool, your worm come through your stool out your body. This is for real. But guess what? They're too bitter. We don't want to deal with them. We need something sweeter. And we messed up ourselves. But you know what? Lack of knowledge and the thing is, guys, from the time you're born, the only thing you was able to do for yourself from the time you're born is use the bathroom, doo-doo, and pee, and cry. You understand when you need milk. Every other thing you was taught how to do. You see what I'm coming from? Every other thing you was taught how to do. And that been happening from baby, your mother, then you go to church, then you go to school. Think about it, your whole life. You've been taught what to do and how to do it. So sometimes you got to find yourself because somewhere along the way we've been lost because we wasn't able to think for ourselves. Everything was taught for us. You see what I'm coming from? Everything was taught to us from a baby. So we've been lost along that journey because it's like someone always holding your hand. 1 + 1 is 2. 2 + 2 is 3. Give me a minute. Give me a minute. All right. 2 + 2 is 4. 2 + 1 is 3. We've been learning all these things. You know what I'm saying? It was never for you to figure nothing out for yourself. This is how you do this. This is how you do that. Along the way, we have lost ourselves. So somehow we got to retrace, recheck, and find ourselves. So when some people tells you, oh, don't go back to the past, focus on the future. Well, guess what? Sometimes you got to go back to the past to see where you miss out. Because remember, everything you know, you've been taught. Now, not experience. Yes, sometimes you experience things along the way, but you miss out a lot on reality and truth. You miss out a whole lot. You understand what I'm saying? Because you've been, it's not, you figure stuff out. You've been taught in school, in church, and from your parents. Your parents, the only thing you know is how to use the bathroom, how to cry when you're hungry, are you uncomfortable? These are the things you born knowing naturally how to do. So along that journey, we lose out a lot, we lost a lot, we miss out a lot because we never had the experience for ourselves. In some cases we do, and we learn and we understand, and then still sometimes you learn and you understand, and then they still try to convince you that what you see ain't real or what you experience ain't real. So if you see a board and someone tell you it's a plane, you got to know, hell no, it's a board. You got to know a board from a plane. I mean, there's a lot I can go with this conversation. But I'm not gonna go too far because the topic was food security versus nutrition security. So that topic, we're gonna take that topic on the next live. Because I can take that real far. You understand? We lose out a whole lot. A whole lot. Even in gardening today, we lost a lot. We lose a lot. Why we lose a lot? Because of telling you, instead of you learning from nature, nature is the teacher of gardening, right? Nature is the teacher of gardening. Now is always something the opposite of nature, and all these things that makes what make it synthetic is because it was made from men. Something that's synthetic is was made from men and not the real nature. The trees, nature. The leaf that falls, nature. Men didn't make them. But the things them you put around the plants, men put that together. All right? I'm not here trying to discredit anyone. I'm not doing that. I'm not discrediting any one product. But what I know, you can gardening natural, healthy. What is important today? Learn about food. Learn what is food is important. We walk on food every day. We trample, we pull them up, we throw them away, and we call them weeds. Educate yourself. This is the time to educate yourself. This is not the world where we used to live into years ago, where you live in, that's it. You can't see nowhere else. This is a world where you see the whole world now. You see everywhere because of technology. So guys, I want to say thank you all. Let me read the case chapter say, with high prices at the store, it's good to garden either a large pot or a 5-gallon. That's right. That's right. That's right. This once a year. All right. Growing something is important, guys. So, guys, I want to tell you, thank you all for joining again tonight. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. Don't forget to hit the notification bell so every time I go live, you can get. Don't forget, you also can check out my videos. I have lots of videos on gardening, organic gardening, from soil to planting to caring for the plant. Check out my channel, guys. I'm sure you will learn something. So thank you all again. I truly appreciate each and every one of you. I like coming here and learn. Thank you, Case Factor. I appreciate it. You have a good and blessed night. Thank you, Shanique Williams. Thank you, everybody who joined tonight and subscribe. Peace and love to you guys. You guys have a blessed and wonderful night. Peace.